guys. I hope you all are doing well. Hopefully you had a good Memorial Day. Maybe you didn't have to go to work, got to spend some time with your parents or your friends or your children. I got to hang out with my parents, which was really nice. They were off work, I was off work. So hopefully you had a good weekend and you got to enjoy some of the sun we've had. I think it's going to rain this week, so hopefully you got to enjoy some of the sun this weekend. This week we're going to be continuing on in Unit 6. So if you have your book, we're going to be looking at page 76. Page 76 in the student book. Oh, covering it up. Good. So on page 76, if you look at the top, it says reading. So this week we're going to be looking at some reading. We're going to be practicing and looking at a little bit of vocabulary specific to this reading in the book. So once you are there, when you get to page 76 in the book, I want you to look at the top, the very first thing where it says before you read. So the instructions say look at the title and then answer the questions. So if we look at this article, what is the title of this article? Good. It's Rules About Time. So the title of the article is at the top, and it's talking about rules about time. So if we look at the two questions, the first one says, what are some rules about time in this country? So in America, what are some rules about time? Then, number 2, what are some rules about time in other countries? So be thinking about your home country or other countries that you have visited. What are some rules about time there? So in this unit, we've been talking about time and how we schedule it. And so for this reading, we're going to be looking at how time is different in different cultures. So the first question talks about America. How is time thought about, and how do we schedule our time here in America? So you probably notice more things about how Americans think about time than I do, because I grew up here, and so I think this is normal. But maybe your home country was different. So think about what are some things you've noticed here in America? How do Americans think about time? And then how does your home country think about time? How do you think about time when you live in your home country? Or how do you schedule your time in your home country? I know when I lived in China, I was very aware of how time was thought about differently. People make plans very quickly. If I want to see my friend, I will call them and say, hey, do you want to hang out today? Or do you want to hang out tomorrow? Here in America, I don't do that. I have to say, hey, do you want to hang out in 2 days, in 3 days, next week? So usually we make plans farther in advance here in America than we did in China. So that was a difference, a cultural difference in time. So what do you notice? What is different and what is the same? So how is time different in America and your home country? And then how is it also the same? Okay. So you do not have to write anything for this. I just want you to be thinking about it. I just want you to think, how is time thought about here in America? And then how is time thought about in your home country or other countries that you have visited? Okay. So think about that. And after you've thought about it, let's go ahead and look down here at the article. So the title of the article says Rules About Time. Rules About Time. So this article, you're going to be reading it for homework. But this article is talking about how in different cultures, time is thought about differently. So it's going to be explaining some things about America and then some other Western countries and how we think about time. And then it's going to give some examples of other cultures that think about time differently. So see what you already know, and then what are some things you're learning. Okay, so you're going to read this article for homework. There is one word I wanted to talk about that I'm not sure if we know, and that word is in the second paragraph. It's on the third line, and that word is punctuality. So repeat after me. Punctuality. Punctuality. Good. Good. Punctuality, if we keep reading, we see the definition of it in the next sentence. It says, punctuality is an unspoken rule. It is important to be on time. So punctuality means that you are on time. So for example, if our class starts at 8:30, you are there at 8:30. If our class starts at 12:15, you are there at 12:15. So we say punctuality means that you are on time. Good. So I think that is one word that we may not know. And if there are other words in here that you don't know, just circle them and we can talk about them also. So you're going to read this article for homework, and then I just want you to answer a few questions on the next page. So on page 77 at the top where it says after you read, I just want you to do A. Just A, where it says check your understanding, and there are 4 questions there. There are 4 questions. So your homework, you're just going to read the article. You're just going to read this article and answer these 4 questions in part A. Okay? So that is all I want you to do for homework. We're going to move slowly through this. So all week we're going to be working on this reading. If you have any questions or if there are any words you don't know, circle them, send them to me. After you have completed the homework, please take a picture of it and send it to me so I can give you credit for it and I can look over it and see what else we need to talk about. Now, this weekend I sent you a link to a form for you to fill out. If you have not already, please fill that out. It tells me if you are planning on continuing the class. It tells me what has been helpful for you and what are some things you have liked about class or things that have not been helpful. So it helps me to plan so that when we are starting class again in July, so we do not stop the semester. Our semester goes until June and then we start right back again in July. But I just need to know so that I can plan and try to be as helpful as possible as I am planning our classes. So, homework, read the article on page 77, on page 76, and then answer the questions on page 77, and fill out that form that I sent you if you have not already. Okay? If you have any questions, just let me know. And hopefully I will see you all soon. Have a good day, guys.